Good evening, traders. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you are. Welcome again today for some more trading. And today we shall try and learn how we can fix trades when they go against you. So I will start off first by just going to a blank chart and try and walk you through what I go through in terms of my planning for that morning, and then mark the charts and take the trades as I did today. But more importantly, to show you the mistakes that I made and what could have been done differently, especially when the trades go against you. All right. So this is Euro USD on the 5 minute, and I was trading 5 minutes and 30 minutes. So sometimes when the market is very volatile or it's moving fast, I try to slow things down a little bit by doing 5 minutes and 30 minutes. Others, usually, if it's not very fast, I would do the left hand side, I would trade the 1 minute, but the right hand side would be the 5 minutes. All right. So the right hand side will just be guiding me whether it's time to buy or it's time to sell. All right. So having said that, then this is the chart. This is where we are. Okay, but I will start off by putting the markings to show you where the market is at this point in time. So I mark the supports and the resistance. So the last high here was here, and so I mark it. That's the last high. Okay, the last low was actually this point. Okay, even though currently it is trying to revisit this next low. Okay, so having marked those 3 points, then I ask myself, if the market was to move upwards, which significant points do I need to pay attention to? Well, because it's going downwards, it came back and retested this point. So I'm assuming that is a significant point. The first time it came down here, it also came back and turned around here. So this is a significant point. Okay. And if it is to go all the way back up, then this will be a point to watch. So I've marked up the points on the chart where I'll be watching the market in the event that it goes against me, started going up, and if I could still be on the scalp or get away from it. All right. So at this point, my focus was actually to take this little profit here, as you can see, okay, and go with the market wherever it's going to go. All right. So I came in and started doing some sales, even though the market was here. Okay. First, I measured and found that the move from here to there was about 4 pips, about 4 pips, and I only wanted 2 pips. Okay, let me show you that from there to around there. Okay, about 4 pips. So since I only want 2 out of those 4, I figured, well, I can do a sell, even though, this is, I would say, considered a very risky trade, a risky sell trade. Why? Because the price cycle has almost reached the bottom. Okay, and let me share with you what is a price cycle. The price of the market goes up and down. It goes from the last low to the next low. So in this, where we are right now, the market came down like this, and then it's going up, 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 up. That's the highest it has reached. Then it's going down, 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 down. Okay, and that's the lowest it has reached so far. Okay, so the idea then is, because it has come to this last low, it will probably then continue up and then come back to the same. So this is the price cycle. The price cycle is this movement from here to there, and then the movement from there to there. So in terms of the price cycle, basically we have reached the low of the price cycle, or towards the end, not the low completely. Okay, this would be the lowest, but we're not there yet. We're just here. So I thought I could get those 4 pips, and then whether it wants to consolidate, or go back, or come down, I'll go with it. So here I am. See what happened. So I took some trades, several of them actually, several, and what happened? This is what happened. Okay, so the trades went down, and as you can see, I'm gonna zoom in. Quickly gave me my initial profit. Okay, it's still going down. My initial target is here. Okay, and yes, there it is. I got my initial profit, and because I was still targeting this one here, I thought, okay, fine. My initial goal was to actually just enter here and get this profits here, which in this case were about 3.5 pips. Okay, I got those profits, and then because the market was still going down, I thought, let me wait for it when it comes back before it goes down further, because that was the assumption I made, that it will come down, then come up, and then the usual breakout things. Usually when the market, um, if this is a point that it's going to consolidate, okay, sometimes it breaks down, okay, then comes back up to retest, and then goes away. All right. So I was assuming that this is one of those points where it is breaking. So it is breaking now. So come back and retest, and then go away. All right. Let's see what happened. What happened was, let me see, there. So it came down, and yes, it came back. As you can see, it came back. So you can imagine what I did. I took a bunch of trades there. I took a bunch of trades. So that's about 5 pips. So I piled up my trades over there, believing that it's going to come back and revisit this point, or at least up to that point, and take all the profit. But this is exactly what happened. Not what I had planned, but the market went up. Now, usually, here's what I do. As the market goes up, I look at the last low, this last low here. As you can see, I pile up more trades. I enter more sales. And yes, I did make some profit there a little bit, as you can see. So the market first came, and the last high was there, and I took several trades, which, as the market came down, back down and closed down here, I had gotten my, okay, that was 2 pips from here to there was 2 pips. But of course, because I'm doing scalping, I probably took like enough for 40 pips from here to there. So I took a bunch of trades, believing that it's coming down, and yes, it did come down. So I took a bunch of pips profit from there. But instead of now going all the way down, the market decided it has its own plans, and it continued up. And so I told myself, okay, fine, because it's going up, this is what we shall do. I was going to take trades there, which I did already. Every time it goes to a certain level there, I will take more trades. I will take more trades there. And if it continues, I'll take more trades there. And as long as it's on that, I will do that. But my turning point, my point of no return would be if it gets here. Okay, but anywhere along here, because this is the last high, I wouldn't mind. I'll still take shots. So took some shots there, took some shots there, and the market, see what happened? Still continue going up. Okay, tried to consolidate there a little bit, but continued up. And when it was there, I took more trades, shorts again. Why? Because it's scalping. And in my mind, I know that it's going to come back, or at least I believe that the market will still come back and retest this last close. Initially, in my 1 hour testing, I knew it was coming down. The market was coming down. So I have a bias of the downtrend. So even though the market continued going against me, as you can see, even here, I took a lot of shots, okay? And my point of no return, I'd already told you, I had said if the market decides that, okay, this point and right there, here I would get out of the trades. But this high was okay, but if it was to get there, I would then exit the trades with a loss. But for as long as it is still playing around here, my goal was to keep taking shots there, keep taking shots there. At times it goes up, I would do sells, 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 assuming you still have margins to do that. And that's what I did. But the markets don't always obey what we think or what we're trying to do. So let's see what happened. So took some more sells. So basically right now is like minus maybe 200 or 300 pips. By the time it reached here, I was minus almost 400 pips up here. Okay. Now I was still taking trades downwards. Why? Because I'm still convinced it's coming down. Okay. Now remember on the 5 minute, on the 30, it still shows down. It's going down. But let's see what actually happened in the next candle. The next candle, it showed it had gone up a little bit. But if you look at that candle is actually smaller than the previous candle. So this candle is big, like a bearish candle, and this one is kind of small. So I knew that even if you draw a trend line here, it will show you that this thing is forming a wedge, hence it will come down. So yes, I was confident it will still come down, even though I've gone all the way up like that on the 5 minute. Okay, but remember, on the 5 minute, every because this is 30, so 5, 6. So every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of these candles makes one of those. Okay, 6 makes one of those. All right. So back to the 5 minute. We are here now. I'm still taking my shots, but now I am way over my neck, almost like 400 and something minus. Let's see what happened. Still decides it's gonna go up, but now I'm not very comfortable because it's going to reach the last high, which is fine because in the normal, most trades would actually go there and turn. Okay, most trades, if this was a major significant point, okay, most trades would actually touch that point and go back. So the market would actually go, to the breakout, okay, then it would go up there, retouch it or retest it, and then go down all the way. So that's what I was kind of expecting, that it's actually going down, 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 and then it will come back to the worst point would be there, and then it would now come all the way down. So I was prepared to keep doing my sells up to that point. All right, let's see what happens. Okay. So at this point, I'm just waiting for one more stretch, and this is what happened. Instead, it started going down, and that was a good sign. But I'm still not out of the woods because it stopped exactly at the last low of that candle. Okay, The only time you're confident about whether it has turned or not is if it had gone below that candle. Remember the 3-bar reversal? So then this would be the measure candle. This would be the apex. Then the next candle, okay, should be the trigger. So let's see what happened. That's the trigger. And the trigger candle closed below the apex. So that's a good sign. It means that actually now it has turned. So this is the 3-bar rehearsal or reversal, sorry, that we have learned before. Okay, if there's a turning in the market, you look at the last 3 candles. The first one is the measuring candle, the second is the apex, and then the third one is the trigger. So at the close of the trigger, that's where you enter. All right, so I entered trades there. Clearly, it is going down. So as it started going down now, I had a bit more confidence that it's going to come back and retest our low here. Remember, it's coming down, going up, retesting that point, or at least that point, and so it decided that it will not even go all the way there to start going down. So let's see what happened next. Okay, playing around, but going down generally. Okay, going down again. That is another level. So you have to be a bit worried whether it would mark time there and go back up or continue. So, but let's see what happens. The next candle, if it closes below that, then we are okay. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. And that one worried me because it went up. Okay. But because of the wick, I had a bit more peace that we are still okay. So if the next candle would then take it and take it lower, then we are okay. So at this point, that one got me worried because it's just taken us up the last high. But the next candle, even worse, it broke the last high, okay, which meant that now we are in serious trouble. All right, next candle turned and closed below, we can call it the apex, below the measuring candle. Okay, if this is the turning point, this is our measuring candle, this is the apex. So we need to find what will happen to the next candle. It has to start and go down below. And the next one was even better. So as you can see, the market is coming down, comes up, plays up a little bit, comes down. Okay, I'll move it forward a little bit so we can see what happens. And this candle here brings us back all the way down to where we were. At this point, it was very clear that actually, we have come back to retest our last low. And there. So the market always does this. It keeps going up again a little bit, and then comes down. And then the next one was even better. It came all the way down and it took not just my trades over there, but remember when I was here, my target was here, the last low completely. Yeah, this one. Okay. So with this last candle here, we clearly surpassed it. Okay. There. Yeah, so with this last candle, let me make it bigger. So boom. And there we finished our trade setup. Remember, our goal was to come back and get the profits that were here, okay, that we had gone for when this rallied up. When this went up again, I thought it would come down and get us down here to this profit. But no, I had to wait for almost like 2 hours for it to go down, go up, down again, up, down, up, down, up again, and then finally down. All right. So that is how my trade was today. And what is the results of that? The results are, as you can see down here, this resulted in 200, 219 pips. Okay, and as always, I got over 1% of my trades capital. Normally I do 1%. All right. So it's done, it's 1%. So what could be the lessons learned? Because clearly, if I knew it would go up like this, if I knew it was going to go up and come down, I could have traded differently. See, I was not envisioning this move. This was an extra. I thought it would just go up and down. But this extra move, I did not, envision. So, lessons learned. Um, if I was to have known, or rather with hindsight, okay, or better trading plan, because today I didn't do a very good job of the planning, when the trades were starting, I needed to be very, very clear that this is actually the, if you look at the price cycle, like I said earlier, that this is the top. In the price cycle, this is the top, okay? And this is the bottom of a price cycle. So usually at the top, that's where we normally place sells, okay? Or somewhere near there. Normally as a scalper, as you go up there, that's when I'll take my sells, all right? Okay? And at the bottom here, normally at the bottom, we have to do buys, okay? Now for me as a scalper, after the 50%, as we come down, 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 somewhere around here, I would normally start taking my buys. So the mistake I did here was I was here, and instead of taking buys, because I knew the market was going to come down and go up, I started selling. I started selling for these few pips. So as you can see, my greed for the few pips, okay, was very painful because the market went against me, and I was at the peak. I was minus 400 pips. So if I had known, or rather, if I was paying attention, I should have realized that I am at the bottom of the price cycle. Hence, I need to start doing buys as it goes up. Okay. But nevertheless, when it was happening, what can you do if this was to happen to you? Well, then what you do is you mark the significant points, okay, on the chart. And if you're stuck on sales, or even if you had planned properly, if I had planned properly and had not taken this, I would have um, waited for the market, and as it goes up, then that's where I would start doing my selling. Okay? I would start doing my selling there, believing that yes, it will come back there. Then as it goes up again, I would enter again sales, believing it will come down. And now this would be an interesting point. Um, this down, up, down, and up, and then down and up. At this point, if I was doing sales and the market came down there, as soon as it started going up again, I would pile up more sales. Okay. Remember, I still was using the 5 minute at the 30-minute time frame to guide my direction and using that trend line. So each time it went up, I would do sales, goes up, I do sales, and then the market would just come down and take all that profit until we reach our last low. All right, I will now pause the video, pause the recording, and wait for questions. Thank you.